The teachers are soon given a clear idea of working conditions in Soweto when they visit their host schools. Emlyn is taken to the Fons Luminous High School, where he's shown round by the principal. So can he imagine teaching in a room like this?
Well, I'm going to have to, aren't I? So just the basic facility, the chairs, and the tables. How many in the class?
Well, average 48, 49.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, where does everyone sit?
At times they don't have.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It sort of puts our moans into perspective, really.
Emlyn is in for another shock as he enters the computer room.
All the computers were taken, others were vandalized like they are, and they were left like this. It's now 5 years that we've not been using this particular facility. Yeah.
Rena and Gary are taken to Shamang Primary School. It's better resourced than many. Amid high security, the school has 25 computers.
Are you likely to get broadband on these computers?
What is broadband?
The difference in resources may be stark, but it's nothing compared to the contrast in the wider community, where there's lingering poverty and disease. The unemployment rate is around 50%, and only one business is currently thriving, the funeral business. It's estimated that at least a quarter of the sexually active population is infected with the AIDS virus. It makes this greeting all the more remarkable. Despite the sorrow that must be known to many, if not most, of these children, they're never heard moaning and often seen dancing. Teaching is obviously affected by HIV and AIDS. The stigma attached to the disease means that people don't talk about it and teachers can't ask.
In our Ubuntu culture, we are not supposed to be telling about disease and all that. It's all about happiness and growth and beauty. So we can't just say this one is now dying of AIDS and let's prepare for him now.
Have you had learners who have died of AIDS?
We have learners who have died of AIDS. But we will get to know about it maybe on the day of the funeral or on the week of the funeral.
Despite the reluctance to discuss the disease, this mother has agreed to talk to Rena and Gary. She lives a couple of miles away from the school in this 3-room home with her 4 children.
I'm HIV positive and I'm drinking ARV tablets.
So are there lots of people who have to take medicine who live around here?
It's me and...
And your little boy as well?
The other one, it's right.
Oh, right, I see.
I've got 1 bedroom.
And do you all sleep in the bedroom together?
Yes.
Speechless, really am. You see it from the roadside and you think, well, it's maybe not as bad as it seems, but when you're actually in and amongst, the area and visiting the house, it's hard to, just can't take it in.
It gives a different perspective on the school, doesn't it, and the learners in the school?
Yeah, they wake up and, they come from here and they all walk to school. But it's just amazing, really.
It really is. And just their effort, their behaviour in school, their attitudes is so good.
AIDS is more likely to strike primary school children born with the virus. Most of them won't make it to secondary school. But the problem all schools face is the growing number of pupils who are left in charge of families. At Fons Luminous School, staff estimate that 250 out of 1,500 learners must also look after younger brothers and sisters.
It's a difficult one, really. It's really a difficult one. By the time they're at school, they're exhausted, and they're thinking now, what are we going to do after school to make sure that there is, say, bread on the table or food on the table. So it's a really, really, really difficult task for them.
How can you, as a school, support these pupils?
The only thing that we can do is we always make appeal to our district offices. We appeal to the community. And every time we highlight the plight of these children in our meetings with parents. And very often, when we ask for donations, they do come through other learners.
The Soweto Stay also aims to give the teachers a better understanding of the apartheid past. These cooling towers are lesser-known remnants of white rule. They were built in the 1930s and painted in the 1990s. An ugly symbol of repression was transformed into a work of art.
What you see behind me, it is a power station which was built in 1934 to supply electric to Johannesburg, but not Soweto, whilst it's in Soweto. So we, as black people around Soweto, we didn't have electricity at all. And we had this monster that is just behind me.
On this corner, the visitors confront the suffering and the tragedy of apartheid. 13-year-old Hector Peterson was shot dead by the military here. The picture that captured the atrocity stirs as many emotions now as it did in the 1970s.